This is the level 7 wrap up and taking level 8. Just a quick recap. At this level, we ran uh, all the level 3s on Reaper, with the exception of housekeeping, which we ran on Elite. We Normally, if we're not running a quest on Reaper, we would probably just save it for favor cleanup at level 20 or level 30. But in this case, we wanted an item, so we went ahead and ran it. We ran all the level 4s on hard, except with the exception of Proof is in the Poison. Proof is in the Poison is what I'd classify as a PETA quest, and we will get back to that at either level 20 and 30 for favor. But since we're not going to run that on Reaper, it doesn't really make any sense to run it right now because we don't need any XP, and we're concerned about our XP for these quests, but not XP. So we'll just save it to when we're a higher level and we can do that quest quicker. We've run a few other change like the Depths House Deneth chain, Delira's on normal, the Depths chain on hard. So these are already done for us at level 5. Next level, level 8, we're going to run the level 4 quests on Reaper, and we're going to run the level 5 quests on normal and hard. If we get to a point where we are not maxed out on XP, then we'll try to, we'd work on some level 6s, but I don't expect that to be the case for a little while anyways. We just, we don't need all that much XP to level as a first lifer, and we're running everything for favor, so it's probably going to be a few levels before we're doing that. All right, so level 8 is a huge level for us. Let me go ahead and advance to Paladin. We get a stat bonus. That's going to be strength. All right, and then for skills, it's going to be the same skills we've been focusing on. Disable device, 2 ranks to bring us to 11. Search, 2 ranks to bring us to 11. And spot, 1 rank to bring us to 8. Our open lock at this point is getting a little weak, but I think we'll be able to still make use of it. They generally have lower DCs than the traps and the searching, so I think we'll still be able to make use of it even with a lower DC. All right, so that's it for skills. And then we get some auto-granted feats. We don't have any feats that we get to take, but this is a big one, Remove Disease. Remove Disease will also let us do a greater restore if we take the right enhancement with it. Orion's Instruction is not super big, but potentially big. For one, if we ever have wisdom damage, we can use it to get that back and cast spells. Since we have pretty much the minimum wisdom to cast spells, it gives us effect. It gives us a bonus for turning, which might be useful. We have some good boots for turning, and now if we get an additional +4 on top of that, that might actually be something that's useful. So um, this is, we only have 1 feat available and 1 to take, but basically we're going to get this remove disease auto granted to us. All right. So first thing, let's drag those feats to our hotbar under Paladin so we don't miss those. Remove disease will stick down here kind of near our healing. And Orion's Instruction, let's see where that is. Probably under religious or something. Deity feats. So Orion's Instruction will stick here next to turn undead. All right, and so if we look at what's available for enhancements, there's one that we really want to take. It's this core here. We get +2 to attack evil creatures. Our light damage goes to 2d6 and continues to scale with melee power. We get +2 against saves against spells and effects by evil creatures, which is most of them in the game. And then this is the big one. We get the ghost touch effect. So we no longer need to worry about reapers and being unable to get reapers. Additionally, the remove disease applies a greater restoration. So if we get negative leveled by beholder, it's not good certainly, but at least we can restore ourselves quickly. So that's the first point. We have 3 points left, and we have to decide: do we want to boost our saves, or do we want to start to fill out this tree and go for more DPS? Saves are doing pretty good. I mean, if we if we experience something different, we could do something different. On the other hand, this, we want to also move up here because by level 12, these are very powerful abilities. We want to make sure we can take advantage of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the next 3 points in this tree so we can start to take some of these other abilities. And, we either give ourselves a clicky for more DPS or we give ourselves critical hit bonuses. I'm going to go ahead and go with the action boost damage. And the reason is that, again, it helps us with that really fast surge damage against Reapers, champions, whatever we might need. So I'm going to stick that right here with some of our other attack items, and so that's a nice power boost there. These and these are separate, so we could use 6 of these and 6 of these. All right. Before I look at the auction house, we're actually in pretty good shape gear-wise. We got some good gear this level. We had some good gear at the end of last level. But let's just go to House Kandarik and stock up on the various consumables we have there. Then we'll go to the marketplace, stock up on those consumables. We're down to one more wand. I'm going to grab one more wand of Cure Serious. I don't think Cure Critical. We could use it, but we just don't have a good enough chance. But Cure Serious, our chances should be 100. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of those. And I don't really see any other wands that we need. I mean, we could potentially replace these potions with wands, but it requires swapping weapons. So I'm pretty good with what we have. And we have this resist. Um, we have a wand of shield, 85%. We probably could use that, but we have plenty of shield cookies here. The big advantage is we get down to, instead of having to have 4 items, we could have 1 item. But I think we'll wait until we get to our House Kundrick favor and we actually have bank space to use that. Right now, we'd have nowhere to put those gloves, so we'll hold on that. We're at 3 raised as scrolls. I want to get up to about 15, so that's a little expensive, but let me go ahead and add 12. That's 6909 before my clicky, 67, 62 after. So that gets us to 15. There's one, let me add these potions for Reapers back to my hotbar. I took them off so I didn't accidentally use them. And the heroism we can't get in the marketplace, we can only get here. The others I like to get in the marketplace so they stack on top of the each other if we get them. So if we get them in a drop. So for heroism, let's go up to 50. So 43. Well, you can see our money's going quick. We had a 20,000, but these consumables are pretty expensive, and that's why I wanted to do this first because they're kind of starting to add up. But at the same time, we really need them for questing. The good news is the loots, the potions never go up; they stay the same. Potentially go down a little bit with our haggle if we gain charisma. And so we're going to want Eagle's Splendor, and we're going to want 46 of those. All right, let's do the other ones. So let's fill up to 25. We're actually pretty good I think, on those other potions. So I think we're good from a consumable perspective here. We're not really going through any of these too quick. We probably have too many blindness potions. And 50 of these, 15 raised deads. We've got this just in case. So I think we're good. And we've got an extra wand. So I think we're good. That doesn't leave us with much. We spent over 10,000 on consumables. That should get us pretty close to getting through the level, if not through the whole level. But we'll run to the auction house here in the harbor and see if we see anything that we can supplement. If we look at our gear situation, we've got some pretty good gear actually right now. I mean, I think the most we'd probably want to do is maybe look at a necklace. So we don't have a regular false life item. So this profane is nice, 7 hit points, and the death block's nice. We also have, well, it's our only death block item. We probably want to keep death block. We're kind of set up with the rings and the bracers, bracer and the rings with our absorb and resist for the 4 elements. So that's good. These are really great a really great belt. The gloves are starting to be a little dated. We have strength 4 here, so really all these gloves are giving us our deadly 3. So if we can get a deadly 4 or 5, that would be great. If we can get a, I think dodge and feather falling, I'm liking both of those. If we could get a dodge 5 or 6, probably 5 is what we get. Feather falling, that would be great. Um, if we could look to maybe upgrade some of the absorbs, that's okay. But probably if we had a priority, we'd like look at the necklace and the gloves. So let's just start there and see if we could find any sort of bargain basement items that give us anything. For the necklace, I think, those 7 hit points are good. I'd probably only want to upgrade if we find a false life item or some really, unusual great item. And I'm not really seeing anything. And we're almost up to where, we're pretty much actually, let me get this down to level 8 to 6. That'll simplify it. Not much on the auction house. Nothing that we could really use. Would love to have this, but we can't afford this. 942 plat. We can't even, at the moment, as a free-to-play player, we can't even have that much plat. So that's kind of out of the question. And now we'll look at gloves. See if we can do a little better on the deadly. I mean, they're not bad items. It's just that we don't want to give up our deadly 3, so we probably can't do much there. Disable 7's good, but we're not going to wear them as our main classes. And these disable 5s did drop for us, and so I'm going to actually play around with my hotbar a little bit here. We don't need the hat in here anymore. I'll move these bracers over here, and then I'll drag these disable +5 here. We already have a search and open lock, so 5's a little under the level, but that's good for level 3, so we'll take that and use that and then get rid of these level 1 gloves we've been using from Keep on the Borderlands. We got, okay, that's our proof of the poison. Goggles, we got some new items. I'm going to stick them all over to this first tab. Another one, I'll stick this in the second tab. That's just something we want to have so we don't run out. We're almost out, we'll be down to 2 wands here shortly when we use one more charge. Runic Trinkets Unbound, so we could trade that to our Unbound guy. And then these gloves we want to save, these are bound, and then both of these are bound. So if we have room for them, and then this is unbound. So let's see if we can find room in our bank for these 3 things. So we have room, we might as well put them in there, and then this invisibility potion we can move to our unbound guy. And some of these things like this, rest of the Aladdin statue, it's not critical. This dice we could certainly use and give up to 200 hit points. I've used most of mine just to free up inventory space. So we're getting a little tight on space, but I think we're getting close to where we're going to get House Kandaric favor. And I might accelerate some of the normal hard runs of House K quests to get backpack space a little bit quicker. All right, so I think we're in good shape. We didn't really find any items to buy. We're probably going into this level with the best gear relative to the level that we've had, and that's because we've been working on it the last couple levels. So I will do the trading of the unbound items after the video. Uh, we'll just take a quick look at the Reaper tree. And for the Reaper tree, we gained 1 point. I stuck it to reflex saves. And so our enhancements, we now have 20 in this tree, which means we could start populating this tree next time. And one of the things that's been a little bit disappointing is the self-healing. And part of that is, I mean, there's two things that will help the self-healing. One is healing amplification, and the second thing is healing power. So, we have the empower heal, so that should be helping, but we don't really have the greatest of healing amp. So next level, we'll get the healing amp, and hopefully that'll make a big difference on our self-healing. I'd like to get to where, right now I don't really feel we're in a position that we could heal without the hireling. I mean, the hireling, we can kind of run around and you raise the hireling and, give ourselves some baby type heals. But if the hireling goes down, we probably go down. So that's something I'm really anxious to change over the next couple of levels when we get to higher level content, is to make sure that we're not dependent on the healer to live. All right, so that's it for the wrap up. It was a great level, and having the ghost touch gets us to a really, really strong place going into next level.